this video, we're going to take a look at how to access all of the data that you've collected from your students. Once you begin assigning exams, your custom exams, the ones we've created, assigning blueprints with their weekly quizzes, data can begin to accumulate really quickly. So there are a few ways to get at that data. For example, for individual exams that you've assigned, you can use the Score Lab to focus in on that exam. For blueprints, you can go to the Quizzes module to look at the quiz scores for just that module. But let's say you want to look at everything for a student and get to that data in Excel, or you want to look at all of the data for a particular study plan for a class. The Data Export module is what you need to use. Once you're in the faculty screen, you can click the Export button here near the top right corner of your screen. To make things easier, the Export Wizard divides getting at your data into 6 steps. We'll play around with this a little bit to show you how to get at different types of data, but let's say for this example, you would like to get at information for an entire class. So for step 1, we'll leave entire class checked. Below that in step 2, you'll see a list of all the active classes for your school. So for this one, I'm going to click Class of 2017. Step 3 is asking us what type of data we would like to export. If I click this drop down, you'll see that we have 3 choices: weekly quizzes from study plans or blueprints, results from faculty assigned exams, the ones that you assign through the calendar, and independent work by students. So this way you could even export all of the quizzes or exams that students have taken on their own. So to begin with, let's look at weekly quizzes from study plans or blueprints. So step 4 says, which blueprint or study plan do you wish to export? So we could look at all results combined, or a list of the blueprints that students have answered quizzes for will appear here in this list. So let's say May study plan. We can group the data by student or by week. So first I'll start with student, and let's click View Data in step 6. You'll see a list of the quizzes that students have completed. They're organized by the student's last name, and you can see all of their scores. If I want to look at each week rather than each student, then I can just regroup the data by week, click View Data, and it will reorganize it. If I have several blueprints going on for a particular semester and I want to get all of them in one spreadsheet, then I can go back to step 4 and click All Results. Let's say we want to group it by student, and click View Data again, and it'll show the data for all of the blueprints for those students in the class of 2017. If I want to look at data for just an individual student from those quizzes, then I can go back to step 1, click Individual Student. I'll select the student's name from the list, and let's say all results for that student. There's not a way to group it since it's one student's name, so it's automatically going to be grouped by week. So let's click View Data, and there are all the weekly quizzes completed by that one student. So let's look at some of the other type of data we can get to. I'm going to go back and click Entire Class and choose Class of 2017 again, and this time I'll select Results from Faculty Assigned Exams. We can either pick a particular exam, let's say Secure Comprehensive Exam 1, and click View Data. For this one, there's only one result for that class. Or I can click All Results and click View Data, and there are all the results for all the exams that were from faculty assigned exams for that class. Now let's take a look at the work that the students have been doing on their own, work that was not assigned to them to do. We can click Independent Work by Students in step 3, and we can see a list of all of the quizzes and exams that students have taken, or we can leave it at All Results. We'll leave this by student name and click View Data. So there we can see a list of all of the exams that have been completed by the class of 2017 on their own. If you look at the small print above the chart here, you'll see that all of the scores are out of 100%, so the highest score on any of these is 100, and you'll see the abbreviations here. So BP is Basic Principles, BS is Basic Sciences, and so on. So feel free to play around with the settings in the Export Wizard, and once you have all of your data organized and sorted in the way that you want, you can click Save as Excel, and it will export it as a spreadsheet that will be in your Downloads folder.